G'day everyone. Welcome to another CSBP Fertilisers market update. My name's Johnston, and after his forecast last week that we had Geraldton pretty well covered for nitrogen for the season, we've seen 150 mils of rain at least across the northern growing region. So we've given Ben the hook this week, and in his place we've got Pattrick, our product manager, who looks after CSBP's sales and operations planning, amongst a whole lot of other things. Welcome, Nick.
Thanks, Gray.
Things have substantially changed in the northern growing region. What's happened in your world in the last week or so?
As you say, yeah, lots of rainfall across the state. What that's translated to is a very full appointment book at pretty much all of our sites, at least into this week. And as a result, we've increased our opening hours and extended into the later shifts, and also opened up on Saturday, which, the net result of that is that the appointment book for this week is pretty well chockers across all sites, with some later shifts and Saturday appointments available. But then when we look into next week, we're full Monday, Tuesday, and then some appointment space frees up in the latter half of the week. So on that note, what we're really emphasising with customers is that if you want to guarantee supply of granular nitrogen, then you really need to look at trying to appoint that in now, because the space just may not be there into the next half of next week.
So that's a clear message as it relates to near-term appointment book availability. I guess that implies then we've got the stock position there to support that?
Yeah, so we have, when it comes to granular nitrogen, we've got ample product on the water and in our sheds, and a number of vessels unloading at each of our ports across the state.
And while we're mostly in execution mode, we've seen this strengthening in demand that has supported CSBP procuring more volumes for the season?
Yeah, so particularly when you look at the last 10 days, we've had very strong demand for commitment, and that's resulted in us looking to procure additional volume of granular nitrogen. And so we closed that out last week, and now this really, how that product gets allocated really goes to execution mode and in the sales team. So
yeah, so we've worked really closely with our account manager group over the last kind of week or so to think through, okay, who were the growers who provided that early commitment to enable us to purchase the boats at the start of the season, and we've looked to provide them an opportunity to get access to the further nitrogen that we've procured in the last couple of days. But I guess then Ben has signalled global pricing has been shifting as well, and I suppose that applied to the most recent boat that we bought.
Yeah, really driven by some gas supply restrictions out of Egypt. There's been a rally in price, and ultimately that has reflected in the procurements that we've had to make, and will need to reflect into the retail market locally.
So some pretty clear messages there on granular nitrogen, which is it's really positive that CSBP's got supply available in the market and across all the different appointment locations across our works, but in the very near term, some constraint on our appointment book availability. How about liquids? Tell us about Flexi-N, Nick. How are we placed?
It's a far simpler state. We have plenty of appointment book space across our Geraldton, Kwinana and Esperance works, primarily because we've got a high level of latent capacity in those plants, with the ability to supply somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 tonnes of Flexi-N a day through those plants.
All right, some great messages around how CSBP is managing stock of nitrogen in season. It's certainly all happening, and I imagine there's a heap going on in your world, Nick. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us.
Thanks, Gray.
And thank you all out there in fertiliser world. We'll see you for another market update very soon. Bye-bye.
This podcast is provided as general information only. The content of this podcast is not a recommendation and has been prepared without taking your objectives or circumstances into account. Before acting on the content of this, you should consider its appropriateness to your circumstances and seek independent advice.